There's to Cartier Wright as the Seahawks start from the 21 and Wright gains 4.
Smith and Jigba, he's going to win all the one-on-one battles.
Lock throws on second down, and it's complete.
Fence out of whack.
On first down, this is Wright up the middle.
And then you open up the pass game through there.
Lock swings it out. This is Velus Jones. There is a flag.
Really enjoyed it, but he seemed like a guy that learned from that first head coaching experience, Dable offensive coordinator.
This is Jones out of the backfield. In Kansas City, Zach Charbonnet scored 12 touchdowns last season, working his way back from injury.
Yep. Robert Saleh just wanted to go back because he's actually going to be calling the defensive plays this season. He's not doing it right now. Gus Bradley, defensive, connected again to the players, going to get that scheme and understanding what it feels like and put on the pressure points for the defense.
Stopped a yard shy of the marker.
Yeah, but they've been very impressed with Jadarian Price. Jadarian Price is a rookie out of Notre Dame. They've been impressed in the run game, but also Sam Darnold believes he's going to be a threat at creating these one-on-one mismatches with defensive ends, with linebackers, the safeties in the passing game offense.
He's impressed in practice, did not play last week. We do not expect to see Price tonight. Elijah alma mater, University of Miami.
It's pretty easy when you look at the defense, and they're right now trying to play man. Linebacker has to go through the coverage, can't get there, and then a nice gain, and it's really nice looking offensive drive right now for the Seattle Seahawks.
Injured Seahawk offensive lineman Mason Richmond, 7th round pick last season. Mike McDonald and the Seahawks lost their pre-ski injury during the joint practice here in Nashville on Friday. Wide receiver Jake Bobo out for the season.
Yeah, we saw him. So when we saw how long it took for him to get back up, you know, the pain and frustration on his face, we knew it didn't look good. Mike McDonald by that.
Richmond back up on his feet.
Yeah. That's always a good sign. Hopefully nothing serious. Remember Mike McDonald, John Schneider, we were talking with them, and their mind was on Jake Bobo, and they just felt bad for him, right? Couldn't believe that he went down, out for the season. Now they have to find that third position spot for the Seahawks. So we're going to see who's going to come out and make some plays and be consistent for the Seahawks.
From the 36th, off the play fake. Catch is made and is taken into 36 yards from Drew Lock to Elijah Arroyo.
So I mentioned that's a good-looking drive. Now just take a look at Arroyo and its outside release. You're watching now the defense. The run game, all the linebackers, they suck up in the run game. The safety, he misses the coverage. He goes out with the wide receiver team, and Drew Lock, he's not going to miss that, man. That's a veteran. He sees the wide open tight end. Nice play, nice execution, nice looking.
There's Jason Myers, who set a Super Bowl record with 5 successful field goals. Myers adds the extra point. 1,000-yard rusher each of the last 4 seasons. Takes the handoff, 2 with Dallas, and the last 2 with the Titans, and pot of 8 on first down.
Yeah, Cam Ward. I really enjoyed the last half of the season. Brian Callahan, former head coach, he gets fired mid-season, and usually you would see a player, especially a rookie, go into the tank. Instead, an interception. He let up on the sacks. He knew that he had to be better, and he was that last half of the season. And got to see who's down for the Seattle Seahawks. Himself, his performance, and then he's going to improve this year. I'm really excited to see how he does.
Started off.
Now it looks like Bud Clark is the one that's going to go down. There's Bud Clark in the center of the screen, and one of his players, and immediately calling for the training staff.
Rookie second round off the sideline. To send their best wishes to the rookie Bud Clark, and we've touched on some of the. They lost Bobo on Friday. This is the second injury in today's game, and they hope to have Nick Eamon-Worry Badgery as well had a terrific rookie season for Seattle.
Yeah, and it was actually a point of emphasis for Mike Macdonald trying to find that third the exact same way.
2nd and 5. Pass intended for the Carnell Tate.
That was a nice job. Carnell Tate trying to get separation. It's going to go up and then out. Nagani, a nice job staying square, forcing him to the sideline. Just couldn't come up with the catch. Excuse me. A great camp, though. You can see the reason why he was drafted so high. Very athletic, very explosive.
So they had Wan'Dale Robinson, the field, coming off an injury-plagued season. First down and more into Seattle territory. Pollard finally. So Cam Ward, 33 yards.
And what I like about this is Cam Ward is just taking what the defense is giving him. It's a swing pass. The linebacker got picked off to the races on the outside. Really like that Cam Ward didn't try to force the issue. He sees it open, get it to your guy, let the playmakers go and get that.
From the Seahawks 40, Ward steps up. Fires downfield, incomplete. He was looking for Tate.
Just a little bit, but it was such a great conversation we had with Cam Ward, right? He was very, very frank, very candid with us. From Cam Ward's second year, and he told us, I'm going to take what the defense gives me. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay ahead of the chains, stay in the group.
2nd and 10. Ward looking, can't find anyone. Under pressure, throws to the far sideline. Caught 41 balls last season.
And there's Brian Daboll. We had many conversations when he was a head coach. We left off, spoke with him, loved the way he thinks about Cam Ward. That relationship is growing. Likes what he sees with the offense and the talent that he had, the terminology, have that offensive line protect for Cam Ward and give him this opportunity right here. Set the protection.
3rd down and 7 for Ward. And the Titans looking for Eilmatter.
This is really, really nice coverage. I know the fans are booing, but this is one-on-one. You basically have no help, right? He did not panic. He might have gotten there a little early, right? Face guarding, but hey, I'm a linebacker. I'm telling him, great play. I'll go.
So here's Joey Sly. This will be a 55-yard attempt in a win over San Francisco. Back home, Sly connects from 55. From the 21. Block handing it off to Wright.
Yeah, that's Marcus for the Tennessee Titans. Jeff Simmonson's out there. Their starters are there, and they clearly were not happy with the performance in the first series. Get the safety for loss. Now has the Seattle Seahawks behind the chains. Here you can blitz a little bit. I know they're going to be basic. It's
blocked 4 for 4 on the opening drive under pressure. Able to get rid of it. Eric Sorbert, veteran of backup tight end.
And this is what you like to see, the leaders stepping up. As I said, that first series was not a good one. So now the best defensive tackle in the NFL getting in there, getting pressure on Drew Lock. So you can see it's not about the play calling, it's the intent. They're going against a backup quarterback. They're going to show why they're a new and improved defense.
Let's get to the 31 for a first down. Lock will take off. And Lock crosses the 30. First down.
Yeah, it looked like this. He knew exactly where he needed to go. Takes a little hit there. Nice run. You can tell he's already looking, seeing the blocking, and then shot. Get the first down. Nice job, Drew Lock.
Lock now in his 8th season. He started 28 regular season games. Lock with the Broncos, the Seahawks. Started 5 games for Brian Daboll with the Giants back in 2024. Now he hands it off to Wright. Found a big hole. And Wright will take it all the way for a Seahawks touchdown.
The strength of your defense, by the way, right? I'm bragging about Jeff Simmons being one of the best defensive tackles. They have a safety in Kevin Winston that they really like. Easy touchdown.
Some of the players left the sideline. Players not in uniform.
Automatic flag. I like their excitement. They can kind of just wait until he gets to the sideline. That was a good-looking touchdown, Kevin.
So the extra point attempt from 48 yards out is no good. rookie out. And he takes it out from 2 yards deep. Beatty across the 25. We had
Sam, a lot of offense this game already. No one seems to be happier than you and the veterans. What do you like about what you're seeing?
Oh man, it's great. You know, just now it's incredible, man. Just, you know, we put together a little bit of a plan and they're executing it perfectly.
They certainly are. Before we continue to look forward, how did you live in that moment? How do you look back on it now that it's a couple months removed?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, you have something on the opening day, so like there's little things that you gotta compartmentalize a little bit, you know, when things come up. But at the end of the day, like, our team's so good about...
The key players stayed on this team. You've got like an embarrassment of riches when it comes to receivers. Really, your offense in general. What's it been like sharpening those?
I mentioned we have a ton of guys that can make plays. So just to have a lot of guys back, obviously lost some guys, but you know, we have a lot of good guys that, you know, so far. So you know, we just got a lot of good weapons, and it's fun for me to be able to utilize those guys. And then our offensive line, they just continue to work. And
speaking of continuing to work, Coach McDonald just praised your evolution from last season into this one. He said you are making all of the right decisions of last season to where you are now.
Yeah, you know, I feel like every single year I've gotten better. You know, you just learn a ton. I've learned a ton from my experience and just all the work that I've put in, things that I didn't do well last year, and continue to try to, you know, strengthen my weaknesses a little bit and then strengthen even my strength. And just excited to kick it off here pretty soon.
What would those weaknesses be, Sam?
I think for me, to 1 and 2 in the progression, I'm pretty solid. But when I get to 3 feet under me, keeping my base and you know, making a strong throw when I get further along in the progression.
Well, somebody that has praised your throwing, like working with him.
Yeah, Fleur's the man. He's you know, it's tough to get a response out of him sometimes when you tell a joke or anything like that. But you work with him and continue to, you know, evolve our offense from what we did last year, and he's been great in terms of, you know, listening to us, his combination of, you know, stuff that he's done the last couple of years in San Francisco and things that, you know, I've done in the past and things that other guys have done in the past.
Good luck this season. Thanks. Kenny, I'll throw it back to you guys.
Thanks, Megan. Great job by the Seahawks on 4th down. So Locke, the Seattle offense back on the field. And this pass is... with the interception, but we will check in with Clete Blakeman.
Contact. Defense number 18. Coming 5 yards from the previous spot. First down, Seattle.
From the Giants.
So the illegal contact happened before the throw. He's looking back right now. Kevin Winston makes the yards from the line of scrimmage. So let's take a look at the top. There's Cordell Flott up top. And there's the legal contact, a little ticky-tack.
There's Bayless Jones. With us here in Nashville, just to our right, is the great Mike Pereira. That call on Flott.
Well, to me, the contact really ends at about 5 yards, and you look for a healthy 5, meaning 6 yards. To me, he let him go. I really didn't like the call.
I'm with you on that, Mike. Looked like he just was trying to redirect.
2nd down and 13. Locke swings it out. This is right. By the way, getting back to Megan's terrific interview, that it was the best day of their life. 55 days after winning a Super Bowl.
That was the first thing I noticed. We just mentioned him getting married. He just lit up, super happy. So very happy for you, Sam Darnold. Congratulations. I mean, what a year it's been for you. Back to something about, he said he wanted to improve from last year to now. He was very particular on his 3rd and 4th reads a little bit after this play.
Wins the Super Bowl February 8th, married April 3rd, as this play is blown dead.
And then all I can think about...
3rd down.
That's Montori Foster Jr., one of those receivers that has been very impressed with.
Alvin, he's going to be one of those guys, if he makes the team, that Sam Darnold is going to have to get his feet right, get to that 3rd or 4th progression. And it was very, you know, it was almost bittersweet for him. He wanted to play almost a perfect game, right, in the Super Bowl. Played well, didn't play to his standard, right, by his performance.
3rd down and 16. This is Henderson. 2nd round pick.
They are motivated. They don't have the letdown. When we watch the practice, it's intense. And you see it's playing out right now on the field.
Remember Myers after the penalty for the celebration
last time?
He from 14th season last year. This is Courtney Jackson on the return. Takes it out to the 20 additions. Talked about the receivers. Robinson coming over from the Giants. Tate, the 4th overall pick, and some
about an attitude adjustment. You know, we watched the offense not able to pick up a 4th and short. We saw the defense, they get gashed for it. Now you got to really change the mentality, because in preseason it's not about the X's and O's.
Pass intended for the tight.
Holding offense number 51.
The center, Austin Schlottman, played for Brian Daboll in New York.
Yes, and he came over when, what I mean by everyone knows cover 2. Everyone knows, you know, inside run. It's all the same stuff that's going to be run. And it's really the coaches, they want to see, can you win your one-on-one matchup? Right now, the Seattle Seahawks, they're taking it to Tennessee. They're able to do that. Tennessee has not matched that.
It's down at 20 following the penalty. Pass over the middle, caught by another ex-New York Giant, the tight end Daniel Bellinger.
Coming over, they're also going to bring some of that culture, right? They want Daboll, Robert Saleh, they want to have some of their guys in the building. It's their way.
2nd down and 12. Ward complete. Spears. Nice tackle as we hit a half-minute remaining in this first quarter.
And so you see what I mean. The very, very elaborate with this defense, or extravagant with this defense, I should say. It's just guys making plays, getting off blocks, making tackles when they're supposed to.
3rd down and 8 for Ward and the Titans. Flag is thrown.
He had really nice coverage. I thought he brought his head back.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 17. Ball he plays in the spot of the foul.
Playing the ball. One-on-one. Oh, he looks back. Oof. That looked like good coverage. I got a nice nod from Mike Pereira agreeing with me. So
here's Ward with the flip. Spears stopped just shy of midfield.
And Robert Saleh didn't do that his first year with the Jets. Deliver that message to all the players.
First play of the second quarter. Ward stripped from behind. And the ball rolled out of bounds.
A nice hustle. Chad Surratt not giving up on the play. Cam Ward thought he had much more chance. That ball was just whacked out of his hands and able to go out of bounds.
Third down and 7 for Ward and the Titans. Trailing by 30. Ward still looking, and now he throws wide open. Gunnar Helm, the tight end.
The outside collapsing the pocket. Nice job by Cam Ward. As soon as he gets out, let's see if, oh, he did it. You're right, Kenny. Let's take a look again. Cam Ward sees it, uses that big arm of his. Got to have awareness on the sideline. You got to be able to drag that toe. It would have been a very, very nice.
Townsend punts it into the end zone.
Seattle Seahawks, they said that they want to establish a run. They're going inside between the tackles, and they're frankly just testing the Titans' toughness right now.
Cartier Wright with the 69-yard touchdown run on the Seahawks' second possession of the night.
Very encouraging for the Seattle Seahawks. Understanding that they want to establish that run game, they do that. We already know about the weapons that they have. You look at a really, really challenging offense when you can establish a run game, especially when it's between the tackles.
Locke swings it out, coming back to make the catch is Wright. The Megan asked Sam Darnold about in Seattle. There he is, Brian, Las Vegas. Fleury has coached on both sides of the ball, coached 10 years of college football on the defensive side. Worked his own in 2019 under Robert Saleh. And then Saleh lost him. Kyle Shanahan moved him over to the offensive side.
Yeah, remember? Shanahan to the offensive side. Ever since then, he's been with the offense. Now he's the offensive coordinator. Interestingly, right, he was a quarterback his whole life. Became the youngest defensive coordinator in college football in 2006. Switched back over to the offensive side. So it tells you what kind of mind he has. But Mike McDonald's really happy to have him here, build this offense, and really just create a seat for it.
That's Ricky White, gained 16 yards At a Seattle first down. So Brian Fleury spent the last 7 years. Now he's running the offense in Seattle. He told us Friday, I used to hate all these people.
That's right.
And now I'm working with them.
Yeah, still has love for Shanahan. He owes a lot of his coaching experience to Kyle Shanahan.
Here's Wright. Looks like a face mask.
Yeah, definitely.
3 flags.
Personal foul. Grab a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
That's Femi Oladipo. Grabbed the face mask of.
It's okay. That was bad, man. That was really bad.
You know, we asked Mike McDonald about the hiring process, bringing in Fleury. He said right after the parade, I had to start interviewing candidates for offensive coordinator.
Right, and he said at that moment is when basically the Super Bowl was done, right? His offensive coordinator.
Lock's pass was deflected. He left last week's game at halftime because his wife went into labor.
Yes, he did. He did. Congrats. Remember, he said that it was actually even tougher because he wasn't going to hire any of his in-house coaches, right? And so, no offense to them, they'll get there eventually, but he said he needed to bring in someone, so it was really challenging for him. They just won the Super Bowl. He has to tell these guys, goes and interviews Brian Fleury, and now here we are with this offense that's been doing really well under his regime.
One up by Cedric Gray.
Yeah. I liked his position because he's a tight end with speed. We've seen a lot of these guys over the years, and because he's a Miami guy, you know I got to reference my Jimmy.
After the play, we have unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 33. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Look up the pass, unsportsmanlike conduct. Gray finished 5th in the NFL in tackles last season. They'll get it back to Brady Russell from the previous play. Wife Annie gave birth to daughter Hadley after Brady left the game at halftime. New set of downs for Drew Lock. See Titans 29-yard line. With Russell leading the way. Right with one of the two. The Seahawks, huge year. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 119 receptions. NFL Offensive Player of the Year. There's Locke, pump fake. And now he gets rid of it. And it's Russell who makes the catch.
Last year, we don't want to harp on it, but Kenneth Walker was the Super Bowl MVP, so that lets you know how good their run game, phenomenal for them. Every year you just saw him getting better and better and better. Now he's the guy, he's the man for Seattle, but I keep all the success is going to come from, and Mike McDonald felt like Brian Fleury had a really nice grasp of how to execute in the running game, or obviously his best player, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
3rd down and 7 to the end zone. The Titans attempting to make a spectacular play. He thought he had it. Let's bring in Mike Pereira. Mike, tell us what you see.
Yeah, I think one official had the ball hitting the ground. The back had the ball hitting the ground, and it is incomplete because he does not have control of the ball, as you saw when it hit the ground. Call.
All right, thanks, Mike. That's the first incomplete.
That would have been a heck of a catch by Foster. Now, Sam Darnold had been raving about him, how he's done.
So here's Myers. 44-yard attempt, hit from 48. Myers' kick is no good. Mitchell Trubisky comes in at quarterback for the Titans, hands it off to Michael Carter Jr. For both of you guys, there's a target on your back after you win the Super Bowl. What does it feel like the next season when you come in for you?
Well, I think this is an opportunity for your leadership to stand, and you got to come back. It's a shorter off season. You really rely on the guys that have been there, the guys that are the high tempo. So I think culture gets to set in and you get to rely on that.
I 1,000% would agree, and I think back to when we won it. Sam Darnold, it was even keel. We had a new message, a new mission. Everybody fall in line, and to your point, the young guys, right? Like, how can we be like them? It's not like, oh, I'm going to go out and do my thing. So the leaders had to step up, show what it is to be. And we had to do that, set the tone, set the example. And you know, it's no secret, right? It's the hard work, room, and that's what we tried to do.
You know, the cool thing about this is they got 20 or 22 guys coming back. Like, I can't remember that many starters coming back, and you saw that in their preparation. You saw, you know, we joked around that Mike McDonald afterwards in our production meeting.
Right.
That's the luxury a Super Bowl winning team has, where his mind doesn't have to be on the ones and twos because his mind's on the threes because they're trying to tighten everything up and get it ready for that stand.
Cody White lost the football.
That's what you want to see. A little jolt of energy.
And the Titans have recovered.
There you go.
Hey, along those lines, Julian, did you notice the same energy from the Seattle Seahawks that I noticed? And yeah, that is a clear drop. You go with the technicalities of how he dropped that.
Yeah, when you're a punter, the one thing, if you get nervous, you want to keep your hands, it keeps your elbows in. And I vividly remember the first time I was trying to catch punts in New England. Bill came up there and he tried to, with your hand, he goes, no, with your feet. You got to judge it right, have the feet there, and you have to have your hands up. Someone's going to make a team because of that.
Coach of the Patriots from the 11-yard line. This is Carter. Now, speaking of the Patriots, the Belichick's assistants, two with you. I know you have Jets fans have to be excited about with their new offensive coordinator. You know him very well.
Yeah, Dave Ball, EQ, IQ. EQ, he pretty on trying to learn our concepts, learn our formations. He's always cracking jokes, but his IQ is also huge. He's a challenge. He's got a playoff win with Daniel Jones. He's got the merit, and so when he's talking to a young guy like Cam Ward, that's a big thing. You got to be willing to be coached. A lot of these guys have been making a lot of money. They got all the success in college.
Flag is thrown. Trubisky to the end zone. Touchdown. Now there is a penalty marker.
Holding. Offense number 64. 10-yard penalty. Replay, third down.
You know, he's hungry. Everyone that we talked to on both sides of the ball, they talked about his competitiveness and his hunger. And the face of your organization for the next few years.
Robert Saleh telling us Cam is the first one in the building every morning. Hard worker. That's what his head coach had to say about him.
1,000. You know, you have to do that as the quarterback because everyone's watching you. It doesn't matter. If you're the starting quarterback, to see what you're bringing to the table. And that's something to get the Titans fans confident.
Third down and 14. The pass.
Like him can fail. Yeah. Cam Ward, his personality, his transparency, his willingness to work, genuine, all of that. He said guys that have those same qualities, and then they're very successful.
Field goal unit comes out. Julian, how'd you like it, Casper?
No, I mean, just to see all your guys' notes, your all the things that you have at the disposal. You guys do such a great job. I mean, you got everything. I got
when the magic happens, Julian.
I mean, it's cool to experience.
Joey Slye from 33. I know
you see these guys, they go out there, they're violent, they're physical in practice. It was fun to watch.
First head coach to win a Super Bowl while calling the defensive plays.
Thank you so much, guys. All right, well, Leonard, first of all, the 12s showed up here. They are giving you a lot of love in this crowd today.
I mean, we always give a lot of shout-outs. They also travel really well, and you see a sea of blue out here today.
There's a lot to smile about today. You know, every time I look on the sidelines, it looks like you're having about how playing for Seattle just reinvigorated your love of the game of football. So what did winning a Super Bowl do then?
Honestly, I keep keeping the competition high and always tracing edges. We never get complacent as a team. Even though we won the Super Bowl last year, you know, the ground all over again. And I think because of that, you can see the competition level on our team this year.
Speaking of fun and competition, Mike McDonald's defense.
I mean, I think the fact that he just allows us to be ourselves. He allows us to have fun, and that's the reason why I say the love for the game out here for the same way. He does being loose and focused in the building, and it means like we're focused on the details of the plays and what we have to do, but we're also loose in being ourselves.
And speaking of someone else, you didn't have to bring in someone else for DeMarcus Lawrence. He decided to stay with the team. I see that big smile. You guys have been having a good time.
I'm gonna have him. I mean, he's year 13. He's one of the only guys older than me on the team right now, and somebody that I myself am still learning from in year. Honestly, you could probably ask him. I try to recruit him and make sure that he stayed here this year. And I was like, hey man, we have a chance, and I'm really glad to have him.
Absolutely. And from veterans to fresh talent on the team, who's maybe a guy or two that have stood out?
Playing all camp is Riley Mills. We drafted him while he was injured. You could tell that he was, honed in on the knowledge as possible from the older guys, the veterans. And now that he's physically able to contribute, he's just been looking outstanding this camp.
Leonard, before by becoming a Super Bowl champion, but then in the spring you became a dad to baby Zion as well. What has fatherhood meant to you?
To be, he's going to have what it takes.
Leonard, we appreciate your time as always. Good luck to you this season. Thank you. Appreciate it. Guys,
thanks, Megan. Leonard talking about the great genes, his daughter Haley.
Yes, the legend, Ronnie Lott. He was, you talk about an anchor, he was the guy for the San Francisco 49ers. Zion definitely is football royalty. What I really liked about our interview with Leonard Williams, and he was talking as he went and asked his father-in-law, Ronnie Lott.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking team number 49. 15-yard penalty.
Year, how do I stay motivated? How do I continue to push and get better? And Ronnie Lott told him, you have to treat year and think back to how hard you practiced your rookie year to try and show everybody that you belong. How hard did you go through those tough days to show that if you take that mentality and take that approach for every season moving forward, you're going to be better off. And Leonard Williams has done that, and you've gotten better and better. His trajectory's gotten better every year, and now he's able to pass that on to the younger guys.
Baby's middle name is Lott.
About 15 years, we're going to be talking about him, D1 prospect, NIL, all that good stuff.
There you go. Chestnut makes the catch out of the backfield, 8-yard line, gain of 7. With Mitchell Trubisky in at quarterback for the Titans. The Bears and Steelers. Second overall pick back in 2017. And he was with Brian Daboll
for a year there, correct?
For one season.
That's right.
This is Chestnut who picks up the first down. And
fun few days, man. Really enjoyed it. Julie and I watching practice, the joint practice on Friday. That was a lot of fun. He got
great to hear his explanation on that punt. Talking about what Bill Belichick for the New England Patriots as Chestnut picks up 16 yards.
About his time with Brian Belichick, Bill Belichick and Brian Daboll, and how he really had to, again, grow, become the veteran, the leader that everyone's going to look up to even after they won a couple of Super Bowls.
Robert Julian was a quarterback in college and then became a wide receiver in the NFL. As well as a punt returner, jack of all trades.
See, I remember his predecessor, it was Wes Welker, and Wes Welker was the guy. Done, right? Those awesome slot, quick twitch wide receivers that can read the field like a quarterback. They know how to slip the backers and get, if not just as good, better than Wes Welker for what, 10 years?
Wes Welker 2.0.
Yes. Getting in on the tackle. They're really vying for that third cornerback position. Nehemiah Pritchett is the one that guy. There's Devin Witherspoon, highest paid cornerback in NFL history, and deservedly so. And, for anybody that hasn't watched interception, blah, 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 I encourage you to go watch his film, watch his versatility, watch his toughness, and then you'll understand why he gets for this Seattle Seahawks defense.
Seahawks brought in the two-time Pro Bowler Trayvon Diggs. Signed him this past week.
Yeah, they are.
Trubisky backpedaling off 3rd down and 9. It's Iomatter. Gain of 14.
Let's make sure that he caught the football. Love the concentration. Good job.
Down to 40 seconds on the clock. We set it down. Trubisky rolling right. And it's complete. DK. Last season as a rookie. Led the ball as a return man.
He's got a lot of competition around him at that wide receiver spot, right? How valuable can you be? How many other positions can you play if you're not going to be the starter or the guy at your main position?
Trubisky on second down. Pass incomplete. He was looking for the play for Robert Saleh with the Jets, and then spent some time with the Arizona Cardinals.
In a little bit, they weren't really. Their ones were playing in the first quarter, and it just wasn't all connecting, right? Couldn't convert on that fourth down, and then now it looks like the twos. Obviously, the intensity is going to be there. They want to make the team, but it looks like they're starting to gel a little bit.
The battle for roster spots on both sides at every position.
And the reason I say that is because you can see the difference in the first teamers. It is very clear how they practice, how they perform, how they execute. We saw it in the 2 days, or excuse me, in the and really did a nice job. And then right now, the Titans, they're still trying to find their way, right? They didn't win a lot of games last year. They brought in a bunch of. They have to find a way to gel, create that culture, a culture of success, the way that Seattle has it so far.
From 40 yards out. He's connected from 55 and 33. Joey Sly now 3 for the second half kickoff. Trailing the Seahawks by 7. Out across the 30 to the 32-yard line.
Who told me playing the starters he wanted to see clear communication, and he saw that today. He felt like they were efficient on the field, and then he said those penalties that we had, some of the mistakes we made, that's great stuff on tape that we can learn from. And when it came to Cam Ward, he said overall he played of growth here in this preseason. And of course, Mike McDonald was very happy with how the Seahawks played in that first half. He said he particularly loved the way the veterans were getting into this game. In fact, he really smiled at me and he said, it kind of starting to feel like us again.
They are the defending Super Bowl champions.
Not the X's and O's, just the attitude, the intensity. That Mike McDonald, he's a big proponent of that, right? He even talked about, they didn't talk a lot about X's and O's and scheme. He just wanted to know, can he create an offense that's going to fit the personality?
To begin this third quarter. Pass incomplete. He was looking.
Runs off that. Kind of gets rolled up on by the linebacker line now. Trainer taking a look at him, hopefully gets back in.
So Bryce Oliver, 7. Levis, third quarterback of the game for Tennessee. Down he goes.
And that's Jamie Sheriff coming from the third-team quarterback, Will Levis. Two things we noticed immediately. They got the ball out quickly. If it wasn't there, you hit your check down. If not, throw the football away. Will Levis goes in. He holds on to the football. Types of plays when you're trying to figure out, all right, who's going to make the team? Do they understand the offense, etc.? You look and you say, are you performing the way? If not, we can't keep you.
Rashad Rochelle had a 52-yard punt return last week.
I think the game has evolved, and I think the rule changes this year. Rule changes very made a difference what the score
Still have
is,
to declare.
But you have to declare, so there's no such thing as surprise. But the first rule, I think, is before, when there was a...
The Seahawks.
There we go.
They love Milroe's speed.
That's what Mike McDonald wants from him. Remember, Mike that up. First read, second read, tuck and run. They're looking for that from Jalen Milroe. Once that's the reason that they got him from Alabama.
Against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, and it's almost a tough situation for Jalen because he wants to prove sits in the pocket, You have Drew Lock, second team. He sits in the pocket as well. So he wants to show the coaches, I can do this as well. But Mike McDonald's like, man, play with your instincts.
They keep it on the ground on first down. Down the sideline, Velus Jones. So, Mike, we know that you have the rule book memorized. But a typical official, how many times during making sure that everything's intact?
Every week they get a rules quiz, so they've got to answer quizzes every week.
And that comes from
it all. I mean, there are crazy things that can happen, but it's only like 1% of a game. Everything else is pretty normal. But you get those that becomes a little more complicated. But these guys that are on the field are really well versed in the rules.
And then how often after the game, is it every other week that they get graded?
No, how about every play? As I did when I was there also. And so at the end of a day, at the end of a game, the review's usually done by Tuesday office. But all of this, every play you're looking at coach's video, so you're looking from the tight end zone, all kinds of, looking for offense evaluation program. I think the best in sports. But that's what leads to whether they advance to the playoffs or eventually the Super Bowl.
Also, best officiating crew goes to the playoffs and or Super Bowl?
No, it's actually individual based.
Okay.
Back in my day, I advanced to the playoffs, and I felt I was not interested. May not make sense, but I wasn't interested in the best officials. I was interested. Came from a crew. But now it's individual based, and that's how they advance. And you know, these guys and girls are honing 3 or 4 mistakes in a game, you're out of Super Bowl contention. Or I should say in a season. You're actually out of Super Bowl contention.
Every play graded for the officials, just like players. As Dixon pumps it away with the stake on North Texas. Big noon Saturday, September. Will Levis handing it off to Chestnut. And you see number 79, there is a flag that our producer Fran Morrison loves it.
Yes, he is.
So blame Fran.
They did a great job. Well coached, done with that program.
On 1st and 15, following the penalty, it is Chestnut. Julius Chestnut now in his 5th season with the Tennessee Titans. Line, we saw Peter Skoronski earlier, their left guard, now the highest paid guard in NFL history.
You want to see Skoronski. Oh, nice run. You want to see Skoronski really help and lead this. Fernando Carmona, who everybody's really talked to. Jeff Simmons says he's got that dog in him, and Skoronski is the guy that's going to help Carmona and really get him ready to play, because not just in the passing game, in the run game as well, you're going to see a team that can control the clock, control the offense, come to success, and it's going to start with those 2 guys.
3rd down and 2. Chestnut picks up the first. And Simmons, so impressed. He's gone against him throughout training camp. He says, I really like him, and he never backs down.
Put a vet move on him and kind of switch it up intentionally, because he's trying to teach him that, hey, when you go against some of these better defense, they're going to give you one type of move or one type of rush. The next time, they're going to switch it up on you. So you have to be ready for it and just adapt, right? Don't get mad. Don't get the tone. They're going to try to take advantage of that.
Nice run for a first down by Michael Cart. As he and Chestnut
are looking for that 3rd running back, 4th running back. And, you know, Tony Pollard, he's always been Mr. Everything for them. We saw him not only in the... They need someone that's going to be able to spell Pollard and give them real production.
Once again, first down across midfield, gain of 15.
Yeah, and I'm just frankly liking this whole side right here. Just kicking out their defenders. They can't make the tackle, and all of a sudden you're starting to watch these running backs. They're not getting touched until they're 5 blocking up front.
From the Seahawks 49. They keep it on the ground once again with Chestnut. Another first down, but a flag is thrown. 2 penalty marks.
Man, I thought J.R. Singleton had Chestnut in the backfield. He swam. And then, of course, you have the holding penalty on the other side that allowed Chestnut to break free.
Holding offense number 12. It's a 10-yard penalty.
Out Mason Kinsey.
There's Mason Kinsey. And as I said, there's J.R. Singleton. gets stiff arm. Nice job by Kinsey on the outside. Talking with him, and he's over there with his awesome defensive tackle Jeff Simmons, and I really liked how we just control the narrative anymore, right? Just go out there, I coach, I want to be with the guys and make sure that we have a good team.
Another flag.
And, referencing his Jets days, right?
Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty. We play first down.
Went back to defensive coordinator for Kyle Shanahan, and then when he was hired by the Titans, Saleh and his family made the move to Nashville. 8, ranging in age from a high school freshman to a 1-year-old. But Saleh and his wife have a sign in their house which reads, quote, "Hops listed."
Yeah, and he gave all the credit to his wife, right? Because the only way that works and the family can work and the dynamic, she's able to handle the kids while he's handling football on the field. Nice coverage.
Back by the Seahawks out of Arizona.
Dansby, and just watch the way that he's going to cover. I'm glad that he doesn't give up on the play. He's covered and he's still watching, and frankly surprised that the ball is thrown into that tight coverage.
With a shoulder injury, started 21 games for Tennessee over the prior 2 years, 2023 and 20. Levis swings it out. Joel Wilson back up 40.
I noticed, Kenny, we were showing Saleh, and I try to think back to when he was a head coach at the Jets. I don't remember seeing him smile at all, right? It was always very stoic and around. He's really got control of his narrative, right? He doesn't try to worry about what's going on, what the media is saying, but it's the same every time, win, lose, or draw.
Levis fires downfield, double coverage. Oliver back on the field. He was shaken up earlier.
Yeah, and then Will Levis is lucky that this ball wasn't intercepted. I mean, he throws it into double coverage. Phenomenal coverage. Dansby looked like he almost misjudged the ball. He could have kept going and got that interception. Saw good defense, both sides. They're all looking for the football, and sometimes I think the offensive guys forget that the defensive players have a right to the football, just like they did there. And if you bump, you bump. It doesn't mean it's an interference.
There's Rochelle, the rookie out of Indiana State, and that big return last week.
Just of the game, the pre-snap, the communication from myself to the receivers to the O-line. And he also has us getting in and out of the huddle faster, so then I can see everything before it starts happening as well.
Yeah, you talked to us a little bit about what feels different going from year 1 to year 2. You've got, relative. Where does it feel the most difference from your rookie season into this one?
I'll say the mindset for the whole entire team, offensively, defensively. Preached us when he first got here has been fast and violent, and you can see the shift that we take mentally each and every day when we're inside that building.
When you speak about to put some work together, what was that like?
It was great to get a chance to throw a lot of football, but I mean it's awesome because we all got a lot of stuff going on outside of in the off season. But when it's not ball, always allowing myself the other guys to come down there and work. So it's good to get on there in that real heat down there, and it's good to train.
He's going to help you win games this season. What do you like the most about working with him so far?
He's a great contested ball catcher. He's good off the line versus press. So we're gonna continue to build our connection. I gotta put the ball in his radius. He'll get his hands on it. He's gonna catch it.
Next, we want to watch your offense play. We appreciate your time as always. Good luck this season. Thank you, guys. I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Megan. The pass picked off by Hill.
That was tremendous coverage. Anthony Hill sitting right there, middle linebacker. He goes over Jalen Milroe. He tried to move him with his eyes. It didn't work and still threw the ball anyway. And that's one thing that Mike McDonald's been talking about with Jalen Milroe. Don't athletic that if you don't feel comfortable with the throw, just run. Right? This is a guy who is up for a Heisman Trophy candidate, but the ability is still there. Don't overthink it, Jalen Milroe. Just use your ability, use your instincts and play.
Will Levis.
And that's what Will Levis needs to do, right? Will Levis has been holding on to the ball a little too long, playing. That's the way Dabo wants. He wants quick, in and out. On that back foot, you throw. If not, you're throwing check down. If not, get out. You have to play within the system. You may have a big arm. I know you want to make the big splash play, but in doing so, you're actually hurting yourself and your production.
Well, From the Seahawks 27, it's Levis again.
It's what I said. As soon as he hits the back foot, he's throwing. He's taking what the defense is giving him, right? You don't see him hit with the hitch on the ball, right? Get out of there, right? Don't put yourself in harm's way. Throws to the sideline, makes a nice play, and then, of course, he's going to learn from this, right? You cannot, has to be a premium at all times, and I know Dabo's going to talk to him about that tomorrow.
The toss to Deotis Johnson. Prior to the 2025 draft, when Daboll was the head coach of the Giants, who had the 3rd and 25th picks. Just took Abdul Carter 3rd, Jackson Dart with the number 25 pick.
Yeah.
And Daboll loves Ward's.
Appreciate that. And I appreciated that with Sean Payton when I was with the Saints. It didn't matter if it was the 4th quarter of the 4th game of the preseason. He had a way of playing, and that's what Mike McDonald wants right now.
Levis brought down back at the
tool. You talk about not worrying about the scheme. Just watch how he just goes and runs right through everybody, right? It doesn't matter what the play is. He blows everybody and gets the tackle for loss. And that's what I mean by it doesn't matter the play call. Mike McDonald wants you to go hard. That is O'Toole, to just go out there and be reckless.
Titans sent out Joey Sly in the field goal unit. 3rd quarter comes to 80 yards out. Hit 4 field goals last week. He's 3 for 3 tonight. Make it 4 for 4.
Well, we should be able to, right? But we got to bring in Rim in and play flag football for us.
I know former NBA star Rajon Rondo has expressed his interest in playing quarterback.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
How about you? Thinking about a comeback?
No chance. I want to be right up here talking the game.
Well, you could still do that during the NFL season.
I would pull a injured up here.
Here comes Jalen Milroe. 2nd season out of Alabama. He made 27 starts at Alabama. Record of 21-6. Drew was impressive, 12 of 14. Seahawks scored on their first 3 possessions. 2 touchdowns, a field goal missed. They now lead 16-12. Start from the 35-yard line. This is Anthony Hankerson. Tay made the tackle for Tennessee.
First thing I want is for Jalen Milroe to have short-term memory. He threw that interception. I want to see him come out. Yeah, they're running the football a little bit more, but I want to see him be able to go through his progressions and go quickly. And even if that means trying to go through all 4.
Milroe throws, and a flag is thrown.
Wasn't good, obviously, on the catch, but...
Holding defense, number 31. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Rookie out of USC.
It's going to be right there, left side of the screen. Clearly a holding on Nick Vanez. Pass. Jalen Milroe, nice job. Rashad Rochelle couldn't hold on to it.
From the 42, handoff, Hankerson. Gain of 4. Out to the Seahawks on a franchise record 14. They won their last 7 in the regular season under Sam Darnold, and then 3 in the postseason. That 10-game win streak started right. 24 went over the Titans on November 23rd. They outscored their opponents in the postseason 100 in the 3 postseason games. Milroe's pass incomplete for Ricky White.
There was a debate. The Seahawks playing the best football. They obviously end up meeting up and the Seahawks win, but they were clearly their games a couple times late in the season. They looked phenomenal. We were seeing Seattle. We didn't call them in their games, but we're like, man, I mean, is there enough of Seattle that did it twice late in the season, right? Once in the regular season, then in the playoffs. So you would hope that Mike McDonald...
A night they will never forget.
Down goes Milroe. Of the ring ceremony, episode number 4, coming up in 2 days on Tuesday, 9 Eastern on HBO.
Yeah, I'm going to look the rings down, and I'm looking at some of the players. Anthony Hill, in particular, he's doing a really nice job. Got the interception. Now he creates back in there. Missed it the first time, but that's what Robert Saleh wants to see from his defense. Gus Bradley, defensive coordinator as well. Really like.
There's Beatty on the return.
Oh, that's a face mask.
4 flags.
Yeah.
By the way, the HBO camera crew has been embedded. working hard here in Nashville to join practice on Friday.
Man, they were sweating. It was
the HBO crew, they may have gone through more water bottles than the players.
I was about to say that. I saw them getting those water bottles. I was like, man, they...
Pass. Kicking team number 42. 15-yard penalty, first down. Timeout.
Well, Mike McDonald said it.
But why was that?
Since I got to Tennessee, Miss Amy and this organization have been nothing but good to me. The relationship that I try to build off the field, the utmost energy when you walk into the building. Guys excited to come to work. Guys excited to go to practice. I've been through it in 8 years of my career. This is year 8 for me, and you know, on the body, the mind. It's like, you know, and that's what I'm gonna be. I didn't believe it until I got through. I'm going through it, but man, the way he's making sure that we attack the days when we're going to a regen day, we lifting hard as hell. Sorry, but it's just the mindset that, you know, he bring in physical team out there, and you know, we living by it.
And he's a defensive-minded head coach. You know, he talked about your intensity, and we see it with your snaps and process. What you and the defensive unit were able to do out there today.
Run, you know, that's not our identity. We have to be run, fit, sound. Everyone need to be where they need to be. Then the busted coverage, talk about eliminate big plays, and you know, we'll come back and fix that. Outside of them 2 plays right there, I felt like we were doing a pretty good job of stopping. Shout out to these guys who are in right now. You know, they holding it down, especially the young buck just got an interception. You know, that's the type of things you look for, especially to finish the game off the right way.
You've got some young bucks on your side that have impressed you as well. Who are some guys that you've really looked towards in camp and said they're having a...
But I felt like our young buck in our room, Kedra Falk, was coming along really good. It was a good play. Yeah. Even Cedric Gray, still a young player who really taking the next step of learning. Him and James Williams, like, I mean, down the other side of the ball, the rookie guard, Kimona, have a lot of confidence in him. They've been able to go against him through training camp and give him a couple of things, other good defense tackles in the league. So I'm excited for all our young guys. We're taking the next step of they not practicing and playing like young guys.
We appreciate your time as always. Best of luck to you this season. Thank you so much. Kenny, I'll throw it back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Megan. Great to hear from the 4-time Simmons led all NFL defensive tackles, and when we asked his head coach, Robert Saleh, Simmons speaks, everyone listens.
Yeah, he called Jeffrey Simmons the hammer in the building, and it was a great interview with us where he was his rookie year, which was AFC Championship, right? That's the standard that he remembers, and that's the standard that he wants to get back to, and Henry running the football. So he's saying, I know what it's like to be there. I know what it is to be at the top of the top. And so when he talks and he's speaking from a place of, I've been there, guys. We need to get back to it, and not just the players. This out by getting some free agents in here. They've done that so far, so now it's a matter of the team putting it together and then going out and winning games does this season.
They lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
Yep.
His rookie season, now in year 8.
And think about some of the coaches that he has, right? Dable has won. Gus Bradley with the Legion of Boom, right? He was there in Seattle. Robert Saleh are people that have experienced success the way he did his first year, and now they're working to get back to it. So it's going to be that culture we're talking about from their former teams, so that the message can be delivered and they can win games.
Pass from Levis. It comes about the new logo, the new jerseys, the new coaches, the new players. This is their last season. The new stadium just to the east side of this one.
You're right.
Will open next season.
How did we wait till the fourth quarter to talk about that? You're right.
It will hold 30. So the new stadium coming as well.
Yeah, it's literally right next door to the current stadium. But when we drove by it, going full modern, I mean, it's everything you want in a winning organization or aspiring to be a winning organization.
For 35. Penalties half the distance to the goal line. First down, Tennessee.
They're going to be on the left side of the screen. Yeah.
That's the rookie, Andre Fuller.
Another bad one.
Under 9 minutes remaining. New set of downs for Will Levis. Fake to Johnson. Levis lobs one up. And it's caught by the tight end, Wilson.
Stadium, you see more development going on. It's really just going to be the epicenter of Nashville.
On second down, it's Johnson. Down to the...
Giving the fans hope. New coaching, put a lot of money into the players, new stadium. I mean, everything's to contend with in the next few years. And, you know, you always hope that for these teams and that they'd have success. So, you know, it's just a matter of putting it.
There's Johnson. He's taken down. Fourth down for Tennessee. Trailing by 4. Leave the offense on the field.
So many times you get to practice these situations, and Robert Saleh trusting in Daboll. I mean, he doesn't have to really just want to see execution from the offense. I'm sure it's just going to be a basic play, but it's just a matter of can the offense execute or not.
Levis will pick up a first down.
That's a nice call. Brian Daboll making sure that Will Levis or use those legs. And you see he's going airborne, sacrificing to get that first down. Nice job, Will Levis.
Titans from the Seahawks 3. Johnson to the end zone. Touchdown.
Titans have now taken the lead. Will Levis looked like he's calmed down a little bit before he's in the system, and you just watch the way that the running back's able to just stay on his track. When a running back doesn't have to do anything in the backfield, offensive line is coming off on their blocks. They're doing a nice job. They're reaching who they're supposed to so that the running back can stay on his track. Johnson does.
First lead for the Titans tonight.
I was running in mud. He was so fast, so electric. Such a tremendous running back.
Let's head down to Megan.
On the field, Simmons said the team was all in. They are behind them all the way in this fight against ALS.
Next, Megan, and our former Fox Sports colleague Tim Green, also battling illness and to raise funds for ALS. Certainly, we're all thinking about Chris Johnson and Tim Shaw, and with their
fortunate to spend a lot of time around Steve Gleason in my Saints days, and you talk about tough. I mean, we've had etc. But to be able to be the same guy every day, to be able to be a force of presence, a leader for now, that's a different level of toughness. So Steve Gleason, he's taught me what it is to be a real man. And so my heart goes out to Chris Johnson for their families and for their friends.
Steve Gleason involved in one of the most iconic plays in the history of the New Orleans Saints.
The welcome back to the Falcons. I wasn't on the team at the time, but we all watched that.
Third down and 5. Pass is complete for a first down and more. Down the sideline and finally forced out of bounds. Ricky White.
Pass interference, offense, number 86. 10-yard penalty, replay, third down.
Just pass interference.
And we're going to watch the obvious push off. I mean, he extends the arm.
So Mike Pereira in the booth with us.
One of the concerns that the league has with the drop in the number of offensive pass interference called last year. So they made that a point of emphasis that we're going to see more of those.
Third down and 15. Pass by Julian Hicks. Spent some time with the Green Bay Packers. Brought in this past week by Seahawks. You see the graphic, no overtime in the preseason. It is a 3-point game.
Okay,
For those of you who may have been wondering.
You got way too
I was just anticipating your reaction. There was a tie game last week. Colts and the Patriots.
Yep. See, that's where you just take off and run.
Right.
There's no need for him to take that.
Super Bowls with a different head coach and none of the same players. As Hendon Hooker completes his first tremendous job, Snyder apart.
What I really like about John Schneider, I mentioned earlier, is that he's an independent thinker. He's not going with the trend, not because that's what everyone else is doing. He wanted to go and get the best coach that's going to have the culture that he knows wins, right? And clearly, and so from there, he took the guy and then he said, all right, I'm going to build around you. I'm going to spend the money on the players. I'm going to bring in the talent in the defense. He's very intentional about how he's there and getting the right fundamentals and technique, etc. But go for this season.
Hooker the sneak on fourth.
Right, a good player is a good player. Whether you're 5'10" at that receiver spot or 6'5", Tyler Lockett 5'10", and DK Metcalf, nice interception.
Milrose pass picked off by Derrick. That's the second pick thrown by Jalen Milrose.
I'm going to take a look at the receiver, what happened. Right now, just the body language of Jalen Milrose, watching the defender back here, and then as he breaks out of the pocket. Yeah, you can see that his receiver starts leaning one way. He throws back the other way and try to go to the sideline and frankly help out Jalen Milroe. Instead, he throws it back over his body and creates the interception. And as I said, at that quarterback spot.
Hooker on the Titans offense back on the field. The handoff, it's Johnson.
The Tennessee Titans and will still put up yards and points.
Ernest Johnson.
Then you say the flip side is NC South. It's been a crapshoot every season, always coming down to the wire.
Titans pick up next with Tyron Montgomery.
That was a nice throw by Hooker.
So that will put an exclamation point on this one. Seattle out of timeouts.
Yes.
We will be in